Good morning, folks. Welcome back to a brand new episode of SMP Live. Welcome. I already see the chat going crazy this morning with all of the good mornings. I see Nancy Fitzpatrick, good morning. Leah Thompson, Francis Donovan, good morning, you guys. I'm so excited that you guys are here and that we are back this Thursday talking about a brand new machine. Baby Lock actually released a whole line of brand new machines. So we're going to be talking about the Anthem today, but they also released a serger. I believe they also released a brand new multi-needle, a new 10 needle. I said serger already, and I think there's another one that they also just released.
Sewing and embroidery.
Embroidery. So that combo machine. So lots of new machines to be talking about today, but this show specifically, we're going to be talking about the Anthem, which is the sewing and the quilting machine, which I am very excited to talk about because we also have so many new products that have just been released in the last few weeks that would really add to the Anthem. So that's very exciting. But to get back to you guys, I want to give some more shout outs. We got Rita Diaz. Good morning. Millie Holt, hello. I love seeing all my familiar faces on here and seeing all of you guys up in the chat. I did see You Know Me up there this morning, so good morning, You Know Me. She's watching from New York. So great just to be with you guys in the mornings here and talking about these new machines. I'm very, very excited and just kind of giving you a little full circle of what else is going on here at SMP. Like I said, we have brand new launches. So definitely go check out our website and go see all the new stuff that we have on there. Very good stuff. Like we had the show last week where we revealed the Hummingbird by Grace, which is that hoop frame that you can move around and you can use that on all of your domestic machines. So all of the machines that you already have at home, you can use that to quilt, and it makes it so easy and just, it's so great. And it's small. So if you've got like the cutie frame, you'll know how the process is with those Grace frames, but that Hummingbird is brand new and we are still taking pre-orders on that. So if you are interested, head to our website, pull up the Hummingbird. And they also just released some, I always want to say software, but quilting software. And they've got the Quilt Motion Foundations,
Yes,
which is for the domestic machines. So if you have a machine already, or you're looking at the Anthem today and you want to get some software to get that started for the quilting and get your quilts just looking amazing, then check out that Quilt Motion Foundation. They've got different options as well. So if you wanted to talk, give us a call. You can call us and talk to one of our specialists and get a frame as well. There's so much new stuff going on, but circling back to today's show, we are talking all about Baby Lock, and like I said, we're talking about that Anthem, and there's tons of new features, and especially as time goes on, there are so much new technology that's going into these sewing machines. And I did work on the Anthem, I believe it was last week or the week before. I did do some testing and I tried some of the new stitches on there and some of the new features. And I must say, it's like brand new cars. It's like going car shopping and checking out all the new features. And it's so great. And just the machine itself is gorgeous. And like I said, tons of new features that will really help you speed things along with all of your projects. So I'm very excited to see more of that today. And we have the amazing Linda from Baby Lock. She is amongst the best Baby Lock educators. We've had her on the show several times before, and she does just a fantastic job at showing all of the different features, and her samples are amazing. We actually, our store manager, Raina, took a class, I believe it was at Baby Lock Tech. Once we get Linda on, I'll have to confirm with her, but I believe she taught a class at Baby Lock Tech, and Raina joined and she tuned in on the class, and she said that it was amazing and that Linda is a fantastic educator, and she was very excited to see that she was going to be on the show today. So all of that good stuff going on, lots of fun things going on at SMP. I'd love to know how you guys are doing. I will say it has been so hot here in San Diego, and Kyle, he lives a little bit up north, and it's been even hotter up there,
it's
right?
Almost getting to 110 up there.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. I am a California girl. I'm a San Diego girl. I need 70s and a breeze. That's how I roll. but it has been so hot, but it's finally cooling down. So perfect weather to also stay inside. I want to stay inside and just sew and work on projects. So that's what I will be doing. But I'd love to know how everything's going for you guys. Let me know what projects you guys are working on. I love looking at the comments to see what people are stitching up and working on, different quilts. I will say we have this quilt back here. This is going to be a class. So if you are interested in learning about this and you're local here in San Diego, definitely come in. I believe this is going to be with Joe, and this is the Wonky Curves quilt. We had it up last week, and I know a few people were asking questions on what quilt that is. So this is the Wonky Curves quilt. And if you want to come in and learn how to make it, then come on in with Joe, and she will teach you how to put together that quilt. So very, very exciting. Rita, you're in Texas. I hope you're making it through. She said it's hot. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I cannot survive in heat. I don't know about you guys. I need cold all the time. I'd rather be cold and bundle up than hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
Let me know. What do you guys, if you're on the same page, put it down in the comments. Rhonda has 4 baby quilts she's working on. Oh my goodness. Are those for 4 different babies, or are they all for one?
All for one.
I would love to know. I would be such a happy baby if I got 4 baby quilts. Just, I could choose, have one for each day almost. But yes, lots of things, and the heat is just going crazy. So we love that, but that's just the perfect excuse to be inside and sew all day. So we love that. But I'm glad you guys are all doing well. I love checking in with you guys and seeing how you're doing. But without further ado, let's talk to Linda about this baby lock anthem. I am so excited to see all the things that she's going to show today. Linda, how are you doing today?
Hey, I am fine. I'm so excited to be here to share with you the brand new baby lock anthem. I can't wait to share with you all.
I'm so excited to see what you have in store. Based on, because you have the machine, what were your first impressions of the anthem? Like right when you got it out of the box, what was your first, like, what is this?
Well, she's a big thing. Okay, so first of all, there's color. I mean, it's a pretty color. It's like a metallic plum, which is really right, all the sparkle is right up my alley. But then all the great accessories that go with this machine. I mean, I'm a tabletop free motion person. I love to do it. That was my start. And so now that we have that stitch sync presser foot, it's just like a whole new world for people who maybe don't have the space for a long arm or a frame. This is a really good machine to get you into free motion quilting and getting your projects done.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Yes, that presser foot is going to change the game. I cannot wait for you to show everything that's going on. I'm going to let you take it away, and I will be back here taking all my notes.
All right. Sounds great. So you don't want to see me. Let's see if we can take a look at this machine. And like I said before, here's that lovely plum, and it's metallic. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's there. And I love it because once again, we have that easy removing lid so that we can add our telescoping thread stand, which I absolutely adore. Let's face it, once you get into quilting, you're going to always want those big spools. You're also going to notice that you're going to get 11 1/4 inches from the needle to the base of the machine. That is super, super important. When you're going to do large projects like quilts, or let's say you're going to be hemming drapes or doing any kind of home deck sewing, this extra space gives you workspace where you're not fighting gravity. I love it. Now you're also going to notice I'm talking about the screen size here. This machine is replacing the Baby Lock Chorus. So when I talk in reference, I'm going to be talking about our past top of the line machine. But this is our combination, well, excuse me, it's just a sewing and quilting machine. But this 10-inch screen is much larger than the 7-inch one that our Chorus had. Notice when you open it up and you just bring it up, you're going to go straight to sewing. We're going to go right to that sewing menu so that you don't have to waste any time doing any extra clicks. I love that we still have our start stop button, the reinforcement that stitches forward and backwards, our reinforcement in place. You still get your needle up, needle down, your cutting and your presser foot lifting in the front. Once again, you have that speed control that you can use it to actually control the speed, but you can also use this to control the width of your decorative stitch. And then our never miss needle threading. Now, some other things that you're going to get with this machine. Once again, you're going to get that extension table. Quilters love this because we don't have to add another expense to our machine. Right out of the box, it's ready to go. You're also going to get, and I don't have it plugged in today, but our multifunction curved, which is ergonomic, foot control with that side pedal. Love this for hands-free motion, hands-free sewing, and then you're going to get a knee lift. So everything that we always expect from our top-of-the-line machines is going to be included in this. Now I'm going to take a closer look up front. Here's a feature that I absolutely adore because I have multiple machines, but you're going to see that your accessory kit is labeled. Hey, now I don't have to worry about which machine I'm getting the parts for. Now, some other things about this machine, and let's see here. Maybe I have to take you guys back out just a tad. Oh, maybe over. Let's see if I can just swing you on over so you get a better view here. One of the first things you're going to notice up here in the upper left-hand corner is it's Wi-Fi enabled. So when you get your next update, you can do this wirelessly if you have really great internet. You're also going to have easy needle plate removal. It's just like some of our other machines where we can use our three-way screwdriver and just slide it in. And while I'm on that subject, I'm just going to let you know that you're also going to get a straight stitch needle plate. Now, you want to only remove your needle plate when your machine is powered down. That's why I'm not demoing how easy it is to do it. But you want to make sure that you do it when your machine is powered down because there's a sensor, and that sensor assists us because it blocks out any stitches that don't work with that straight stitch, which of course would be anything that has any width to it. In addition to this, you're also going to get a digital dual feed. And let's see here if I can take you back. Oh, no, I'm just going to have to slide it on over. You go up and move it on over because I think that's going to be the easiest way for you to see this. Sorry, just working with the cameras here today. One of the things that's included in this machine is a digital dual feed. Now, this is the compact digital dual feed, which I absolutely love. And here again, if you haven't known this about me, I am a foot girl. I love the compact digital dual feed. It is our walking foot, and I like to say on steroids. It is a belt-driven walking foot. You see right here, and the belt never leaves the fabric. So you're always going to get that pull and edge. It's just like a walking foot, but it's so much better because there's no hopping to it. It attaches just like your regular presser foot. And notice the soles of this digital dual feed snap on and snap off easily. So with this digital dual feed, you're going to get the closed toe. You're going to get the open toe sole. Hopefully I can hold this so you can actually see how open it is. You're going to get a couching foot, which has a yarn guide and of course the yarn threader. You're also going to get a 1/4 inch foot. Now this has I hope you can see, it has a little metal guide here to assist you. So when you're piecing it, you can just do some speed piecing. I love to leave this digital dual feed on my machine and just you disengage it and re-engage it just with the touch of a lever. And of course, it communicates with your machine. You plug it into the back of the head. In addition, you're also going to get that stitch in the ditch. So those of you that do a lot of straight line quilting, you're going to love this because you can run this right down seams and do a lot of quick basting with this. Plus, you're going to get the 2 quilting bars. So this is a huge upgrade because those of you that had this with the course, you probably only got 2 soles and you had to invest in or purchase to buy all 4 of these. But these come with this machine. And I always love to show people what you can do with something. So here's my sample star. And we've got the couching going on here with ribbon. You've got some decorative stitches. This is all done with that digital dual feed. And I hope you can see we did some channel quilting here. Maybe you can't see it. I'm hoping you can see it. Or you're just going to have to trust me on this. But this is just a quick and easy. You can piece with it. You can piece points with it. It is a great addition to this machine to have all of those soles so that you can get started being creative right out of the bat. Now, in addition to this, I want to talk just a little bit more about feet because, like I said, I'm a foot girl. Can't fault me for this, guys. Because I think knowing what you get with this machine right out of the box is going to be pretty impressive. All right, so you're going to get your standard J foot. And for those of you, this is our standard foot. It engages with all the feed dogs because it has a real smooth surface. I love it because you have the, I call it the hump button where you can go over thicknesses. You're going to get the N plus foot. If you haven't ever used an N plus foot, it's got these lovely little braces on either side that goes around the ankle. And this assists you in using those decorative stitches that move laterally back and forth. And of course, it's got that nice deep groove so those decorative stitches can just flow underneath it easily. You're going to get an overcast foot. And this is really handy if you just need to do a quick little finish of a seam, or if you don't have a serger. Of course, we all know we love those baby lock sergers. You're going to get your blind hem presser foot, which has that lovely bar that holds and supports those stitches as it does a blind hem stitch through your projects. So this is still a clothing construction machine, even though I talk quilting quite a bit. You're going to get this lovely one-step buttonhole. I love this because I don't have to think. I let the machine do it, and all I have to decide really is what color thread I want to showcase. And you're going to get your button sew on foot. Let's face it, guys, once this came out, that was like a huge bam success. You're going to get the standard zipper foot, which clips on either way, right or left. And now we have our adjustable zipper foot. And this is a game changer, folks. You have a positioning screw in the back, and we're going to hopefully show you how to use this, that you can actually move the presser foot attachment bar to the left or to the right so that you get the presser foot going right down on those feed dogs. So it pulls it through just like butter. And just to compare, you're going to notice that this adjustable zipper foot is much longer than the original zipper foot. It also has a center hole and a window. How many times have you tried to guess where you have to sew down the zipper? But now we have this window that we can actually see where we're going. And the length on this is phenomenal for adding cording to your projects. So that's like a big win-win right there. Now you're still going to get some of my favorites. You're going to get that Echo quilting foot, which is a clear, almost acrylic bowl-like foot that glides over our embroidered or our applique pieces. I love this. You're going to get your short shank adapter or your low shank adapter, so you can use that presser foot. You're going to get your straight stitch free motion quilting foot or mending, and you're going to get that open toe 01. This is one of my favorites to do free motion quilting with. But here's the big one, guys. This is the one that I think is the game changer for us, is that you're going to get this stitch sink presser foot. And I love this because of a couple of things. First off, there are 3 soles. You just push the little lever forward, the sole pops out, then you just insert it in tight and hear the click and tug on it ever so slightly to make sure it's engaged. It does have a little laser on the bottom, so you're going to need to use extra batting, extra backing, because your movement of the fabric is what's going to activate certain stitches on this presser foot. Now, in addition, right here, I have the Echo quilting foot on. Hopefully you can see it. It has 3 lines on it, or excuse me, 2 lines that are circles. The first one is 1/4 of an inch. The second one is 3/8 of an inch. And then you have justification lines horizontally and vertically. So you know if that center needle, if you've selected the straight stitch, you have justified it in the center and you know exactly where that needle is going to hit on your project. We also have a closed toe foot, which is really great because you're not going to snag anything with it. And then we have an open toe foot for visibility. And these are all interchangeable with that stitch sink foot. So let's take a look at some of the other features, because in addition, let me touch this here. In addition to having all of these lovely stitches, you are going to get 804 built-in stitches with these feet. And this is phenomenal because our our past top of the line, the chorus, only had 753 built-in stitches. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but some of the new stitches are the ones I think I'm probably the most excited about. So in addition to absolutely loving presser feet, I love decorative stitches. And so when you look at your categories here, of course, we have our utility stitches, and you're going to get 183 of those. And then we start some of our decorative, and we actually have a whole nother category over here with multiple categories in those. And out of those decorative stitches, there are 621 of them. So we've got some choices here to be creative. But you're also going to have what I call just some of our heirloom, some of our black work. Here's your categories for all of our buttonholes, plus that's your buttons, so on. Here's one that I don't think gets enough recognition. It's our lateral sewing. So how many of you have ever done straps on a bag and you've had to like finagle the bag around and under the presser foot? No, just touch your stitches so you can stitch to the left, you can stitch up, you can stitch diagonally. These are phenomenal. I love these. We do have our quilters menu, and of course you can choose in your settings tab up here to have that be displayed first when you open up the machine. Absolutely love it. And of course, it's got my favorites where you can actually, in like Q-02, a straight stitch, you can actually move it in smaller increments to the left or to the right. And that assists you when you are wanting to get that scant quarter of an inch. And then that Q-012, it's that little hand applique. I absolutely love that one to sew on my bindings by machine. We do have our specialty stitches. One of them is C. If you want to purchase, you can purchase a free motion couching foot. Absolutely have some fun with that. But we have our hand stitches in various sizes. You're going to get some clear thread. I like call it monopolyester thread, and that's going to assist you to make it look like you're stitching it by hand. But this last category is brand new to this machine, and it's called our tapering stitches. So now we can actually play with and get angles on these stitches. I love to do this. I'm just going to select T-18. We get a preview of it here. So these are our categories, and over here on the far right hand side is our stitch edit menu. So I'm going to touch my tapering menu, and now I can edit these tapering stitches. Absolutely love it. I can go into my start and I can change the angle. I can make it 30 degrees, and you'll notice over here I'm getting a preview. I can flatten it to 120 if it fits better. I can make it super narrow at a 15-degree angle. So much fun. Notice I can also access, I can close it here, or if I open it again, I can access my end tapering right there, and I can change the end angle. So now I have a what I want to say, I have a stitch pattern in which I've been able to adjust it. Now, you can end this in a couple of ways. Those of you that might have the Solaris or the Radiance, you probably have the tapering stitches already, and you might be able to use an endpoint sticker because you have a projector. Well, we don't have that, so we need to either touch our reinforcement or our reinforcement dot or our back stitches, and then from wherever you touch it, it'll taper off. But I'm somewhat of a control freak, guys. So I like to do an exact number of repeats. And I love it that I can take it up or down, either way, and it gives me an approximate measurement of this. All right. And I love this because if I'm going to stitch this out, I'm also going to activate my reinforcement and my cutting along with my pivot feature so that I can have some wonderful hands-free sewing going on in my sewing studio. So I'm going to angle you over here again. We are going to zoom in, hopefully. Let's see here. So you can just see one of these. Now I am just using my N plus foot, and I don't know if you can see it, but there are actual tick marks. Let me see. Move it on over, guys. There are tick marks on the side, and I have some chalk lines here, and all I'm going to do is use my start stop button. I've pulled my foot control out, so it's going to reinforce when it starts stitching, and then it's going to go ahead and do some lovely snowflake stitches. And I just gave it, I think, what was it, 5 maybe? No, I did probably 7. But we're just going to let the machine do the work. My job is to just make sure that line goes down the funnel. And we're just going to have some fun with these tapering stitches because they're brand new. And now that we have it and we have a machine that loves to do the stitching for us, I don't know if you can see this, really not letting, not having to worry about it. I like the fact that a lot of these stitches are done within the presser foot. And here it's reinforcing and it's going to cut and it's going to lift. How cool is that, folks? Isn't that sweet? So what can I do with this? Well, oops, I don't want to lose this. Hang on, guys. I'm reaching for samples. Can you tell? There's a couple of things you can do. For those of you that live in snowless areas, of course, you can make snowflakes. Look at all those tapering stitches. Isn't that fun? You can plant a garden with your tapering stitches. Hopefully you can see that. I tell you, my lighting, I'm sad. Or those of you that are piecing, you can come in here and let's say you've built a house. Well, you can use those decorative tapering stitches to enhance the soffit. That's where the measurement's going to help you on those. So that's just some fun things. Now, the one thing that doesn't come with this machine is our sensor pen. Those of you that have the Chorus, you may have been familiar with the sensor pen. So I'm going to go back over to my utility stitches and select, let's go this way. And we're going to go ahead and delete that and bring back my stitches here. One of the things though that we do have, even though we don't have that sensor pen, is we still have the actual guide beam. And for those of you that don't know what this is, oh, hopefully you can see this. Take it back out just a little bit here and let me show you what buttons I've been pushing. All right, so I went over here to my utility stitches, I touched a straight stitch, and then I activated my guide beam. And you could move it back and forth here with the plus and negative. Love it. So let's see if we can zoom you in one more time here and get a good look at this guide beam. Think about this. How many of you like to make half square triangles? And wouldn't it save you time if when you are piecing, you didn't have to do any kind of marking? All you had to do was start stitching. And that's all I'm doing right here. We're going to do one of those snowball blocks. Oop. And it ran a little faster than I thought, but boom, look at that, guys. We got a perfect half square triangle just using the guide beam. So these are some great options. And then once again, I just want to share with you just a little bit about that presser foot because, oh my, I tell you, I'm kind of enthralled with this. Let's see if I can get this changed really fast here. Are there any questions about what I've shown so far as some of the new features for this machine? Just going to grab that presser foot here. Evidently not. I must be answering all your questions, huh? We're going to put on that adjustable cording foot. I'm going to shut off my projector, my guide beam, but I'm coming out here with some lovely cording. Now, of course, if you have a serger, you can make this cording on your own, but I just wanted to kind of show you how nice this is. And just by using my left-right shift on my machine, and for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let's see if I can show you on this. My left-right shift is right here. I can move that needle to the front or to the back. Now, I can see that this is definitely not going to hit, but we always tell people, just turn the hand wheel once in and do a check. So I'm just really following wonderful advice. But once again, that left-right shift, you can start with your needle a little further to the right, sew your cording in place, and then move it to the left and sew it down permanently so you don't see the stitches that you've done. All right, so we're going to go back over here, and I'm just going to show you how lovely this is to use with this adjustable zipper foot. Once again, you've got that length. It's just a phenomenal thing. Let me just hit stop. All right, we're going to cut and do a lift. Check that out, guys. Isn't that cool? I just think that's phenomenal. Anyhow, this is a fun foot, and I imagine that I will probably be putting in more zippers because after you sew your zipper in, you can even come right back in. This would also be really great to attach trim on. Let's face it, it's National Sewing Month. We need to go big and make sure that we get all of our fun features, right, that we love. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I am changing over my presser foot, and we are going to attach the Stitch Sync presser foot. Once again, it plugs in just like our digital dual feed does in the back of the machine, and this is used for free motion quilting. And so I'm just going to finger screw it in. You know, one of the things I have learned, well, a couple of things since I've become an educator for Baby Lock is, first of all, setting a screw is not my talent, but I have other talents, so that doesn't worry me so much. And talking and sewing are not my skills. Okay. So if I go quiet, it's not to be mean, it's just to let you know. Okay. All right. So once you plug it into the back of the head of the machine, just where our digital dual feed plugs in, we are now going to get a menu for Stitch Sync. And all you have to do is, it's giving me a warning. It says to start quilting or free motion quilting, you have to be careful not to pull the fabric tightly. And that, I think, is going to be something that might be a learning curve. As a free motion quilter, I know that intuitively I move with the machine. And so you have to just give yourself, I don't know, grace to be able to use the Stitch Sync without fighting it, okay? I believe the Stitch Sync is a great training tool for anybody who's new because you're gonna look fabulous right out of the box. But once it's plugged in, now you're going to get the menu, all right? And this menu is phenomenal, guys, okay? Because I've had a stitch length regulator before, and this one's actually fun, okay? We're just gonna go with that. All right, so I do have the Echo quilting foot on, just so you know. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Stitch Sync, probably a lot, because of course you all know that free motion quilting is my passion. We're no big surprise there. So we have 3 modes in which we can use. Mode 1 is the intermittent mode. What this means is it's not going to sew until I move the fabric, and then when I stop, it'll stop. It also has a safety feature. So like if I'm quilting and I get into a corner and I'm like, new, and I don't know what to do, all you have to do is freeze, and it will take it and put it into a safe mode, and you'll hit OK and start it again after you manage your threads and get to where you want to go. Now, with mode 1, notice that you're going to get a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. Why would I want a zigzag stitch? Ask anybody who does thread sketching or thread painting. This puts down a lot of thread and can give you a lot of color with a big bang. I absolutely love it. You're also going to get the options here to do a pivot, a reinforcement, and a cut. Now, as a free motion quilter, I don't like to do a reinforcement and a cut because I find that it's too thin. It's too short. I always like to leave my threads long. But here's another cool one. You can also get a guide beam. So why would I want a guide beam? I'm just going to use my negative here, and I'm going to move the guide beam so that it is right on my 1/4 inch echo. And then I'm going to take you back over to the camera, and we're going to just show you why you might want this echo feature to be used. Let's say we have a quilt block, and hopefully you can see. Do you see the line? Maybe not. Maybe, well, here's my line, hopefully. And what I would do with this is I would put it right on the seam. And then as I sew, I would be sewing a 1/4 inch away from my seam allowance. Now, that's going to appeal to anybody who does traditional quilting, especially if you were a hand quilter before you got into machine quilting, because we used to always stitch a 1/4 inch away from a seam to allow for that seam allowance. It was always hard to handle through or needle through with our hand. So that's a really great feature to be able to use, is that guide beam, even with our Stitch Sync. Now, once again, you have the width and length because you can do a zigzag with it, and we have a left-right shift, and that can help you, again, if you want to do a very narrow echo, this would be great. Here's a cool one, is that you can adjust the presser foot height right here on the screen. So if I feel like I'm snow plowing, where it's gathering up before the presser foot, keep in mind, anytime you do free motion quilting, you only want that presser foot to be about a dime's width above the quilt sandwich. But here's the fun part about this stitch sync. Let's say you're a quilter who always uses the same batting, the same fabric, and the same thread. I can put my settings here, let's say, and I'm going to take my stitch length down because when I work in small projects, I like to have it at about a 2. I can take and touch memory, and I saved my stitch. What does that mean? I can hit retrieve, and oh, check it out, guys. In number 1, I have saved my stitch width, my length, my left right shift, my tension, if I needed to make any adjustment, and what mode I'm using. And I can save 3 different settings. Isn't that phenomenal? And then I can always choose one, like this one's chosen, and I can hit delete. And I can hit close and keep it there, especially if I like to use the exact same setting over and over again. So that's intermittent, okay? Now I'm going to go on and touch 2, which is continuous. Now, what is continuous? Continuous mode means that once I start moving, it's going to sew, but when I pause, that needle is going to continue to pulse. And what that does for me as a quilter is it gives me nice points. Why would I want nice points? Let's say I'm making leaves and I'm new and I don't have that hesitation. Free motion quilters like to hesitate when they want to point. Well, this machine's going to take care of that for us. Now, it won't have that safety stop feature that mode 1 had, but here again, you know, you still get things like zigzag. You still get those reinforcement in the pivot. And I do leave the pivot on because I like my needle to go down, because sometimes I forget why I walk into my living room. This same thing here when I'm quilting. I forget where I am, but putting that needle down helps me. I can still adjust everything, and I can even add it to memory. This also has that zigzag if I haven't mentioned that before. Now, the last one is a basting stitch. And notice I got a warning sign, and it says here, do not use the open toe quilting foot. Now this is real important. You don't want to use the open toed sole because that will actually snag some of those stitches as you are after you baste them. So that's a no-no. Although I will say this in general terms, when I'm stitching, I really like that open toe foot. I'm not going to lie. But notice in basting, you only get a straight stitch, but you still get all of the others except for, of course, width is going to be grayed out because we don't need it. So I'm just going to show you a little bit on how to do basting because I think there might be a learning curve. Would I baste my whole quilt? Probably not, because I like my digital dual feed. I would use that with some water-soluble thread in the bobbin. But when I do some basting, one of the things I'm going to do, it defaults at 20 millimeters. That's a pretty long basting stitch. So I take it down and notice that 10 millimeters is the shortest I can go. So this is a true basting. But why would I do it? Let's say that I'm quilting and I just need to close this edge because as I'm doing the border, I keep coming in and snagging it. So we're going to practice basting it. So I'm going to take you over here so you can see what's happening. So this is basically, guys, this is a free motion quilting foot. So I'm just going to lower my presser foot, put my needle in and pull it up. Now, keep in mind, I just used my thread cutter. And I told you before, using a thread cutter is not my favorite thing. And I'm not using my foot control. Now, there's 2 ways that you can power on the stitch sync. One is your on-off button right here. The other is the foot control. And when you do the foot control, you have to compress it and hold it, which is counterintuitive because I'm a free motion quilter and I fluctuate in my foot control. So what you need to do is decide if I'm going to be able to hold that down, which I know I can't, so I don't use it. But if you fluctuate, you're going to want to just use your start-stop button because that fluctuation will turn the stitch sync on and off, on and off. And you'll think, well, this foot's not working. But that's not it, guys. It's how we've been trained to stitch. So once again, I am here. I am going to just do some basting. Let's say that we needed it. So notice nothing's happening. It's just like intermittent until I move. And now you're going to see it slowly take some stitches, right? If I was basting around a corner, I would do some stitches and then I would hit stop and watch what happens. My needle goes down because I have that pivot feature turned on. And then I'm just going to rotate it and do some more stitches. But you have to go medium speed or slower. And I'm just going to hit the power again. But you can see there, we've got some really nice long stitches that will hold it in place. All right. Like I said, I would use it in small increments, but it's really great. Now, do you get a warning when the bobbin thread goes out? I just happened to see that one. Not that I'm aware of. I think you do. Well, no, you do. You do with this machine. I apologize. I think you do. Well, it's a thread break is what happens. It's with our, it's up here with when it's not engaging, it'll let you know. So yes, you do get like a little warning sensor. Isn't that funny how you tune things out? The other thing that you have with this machine is there is an alarm. So if you are free motion quilting, and we're going to take you back over here so you can see how I'm setting this up. I'm going to go to mode 1. I'm going to leave it on a straight stitch because I'm going to free motion, but once again, I'm taking my length down. When I'm free motion quilting and doing small curves, I like a tighter, shorter stitch. This is going to give me a nice curve. Nice curves. That's what I'm looking for. And I've tested it. I like this. I like my tension at the default, so everything else is going to stay. The one thing that can be kind of frustrating, and it just tells me to slow down and enjoy the process, is the alarm. If you hear the alarm going off quite a bit, that just lets you know that you're probably outgrowing your stitch length regulator. So we're going to go ahead and start. Once again, if I don't move the fabric, nothing happens in stitch mode 1. Oh, guess what? Because I didn't move, I'm getting that warning sign telling me my sewing status was canceled because I didn't move it. That's that safety feature that you can use as a tool, especially if you're new. All you have to do is hit OK. And now we're going to go back over. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to just start making some pretty motifs here. We're just going to, we'll do a curl. And let's do a heart leaf because I love what all you can do. And of course, what is stitch length regulation? This is actually making sure that all of my stitches are the same size. If I'm hearing that alarm, that tells me that I am moving too fast and my stitch length regulator may not be doing what it needs to do to be able to have this work properly. Now, another thing that I noticed is sometimes in classes, if they don't have enough fabric, they're not going to get that stitch length regulator to take a stitch. You've got to have fabric that covers up the little laser underneath that we showed you earlier. And that's just part of just knowing this machine and how it operates. But hopefully you can see here we're having some fun, or at least I'm making some of my nature inspired. Once again, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to just pivot around and hit pause. Hopefully you can see this. On my, remember I told you on intermittent, if you don't pause, you see the curve, instead of having a lovely rosebud here, I've got kind of a curvy little slant. That's because it didn't pulse. So let's go back in, and I'm going to go ahead and change it to mode 2, which is my continuous, and you're going to see how it pulses. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're just going to pivot around and hit. Oh, I want to get you close, guys. I want you to see this. Okay. So we're going to hit start, and you're going to see how it continues, how it's going to continue to pulse even when I pause. So we're going to do a loop here. Come on over. Let's try another one. We'll pause. See, there's the pulse. All right, and I can come back around, but that's going to ensure now that I get really nice points, and we can have some fun with this. All right, and once again, anytime you pause in mode 2, it's going to keep stitching. But you can use this to your advantage if you wanted to do things like, oh, let's say we're going to do a triangle. And come back in, get some really nice points here. All right, let me hit pause and let me show you what we got going on. So here again, as opposed to that intermittent, which is number 1, we're looking at sharper points. Check out my triangle. Of course, I probably could have taken a little more time and made it look great. But that's also, that's one of those things that's going to help you in keeping that looking really, really nice. So let me just back out here for just a minute and share some of the things that this machine can do. Of course, oops, I forgot my zipper. See, you can put a zipper in, and talk about using all of our scraps and just making cute little bags. So of course, this can be for bag making. You know, that's not a surprise, right? Once again, I am a foot girl. So when I do machine applique, and this was totally done on an Anthem, you can come in and use those lovely decorative stitches to add embellishments. And I don't know, this is probably a bad choice. Well, it's a good choice for this quilt, but hopefully you can see the quilting that's done in there. We've got little irises in the background. We've got some fun triple leaves that are just out there. You can also totally construct quilts with your decorative stitches. This is kind of fun. Karen Linduska is a fiber artist in the Carbondale, Illinois area, and she teaches classes like this. This is my interpretation of her art, but you can see here, just using all of those lovely decorative stitches that this machine has, boy, oh boy, can you have some fun with this. Now, remember I talked about thread sketching, thread painting. Here's an apple that's totally done with thread. I don't know if you can, there we go. Now you can see it. Totally done with thread. I stitch it on some really heavy duty cutaway stabilizer. And then I came back in and appliqued this to a pocket. This is a purchased tote bag, but you can see, I don't know, can you see all the different threads? And of course the color is what, you know, the color of thread that you choose and the long stitches, the width of that zigzag, that all comes into play. Now, this is an event that I offer. It's my So Very Sketchy Pumpkins, where we do some thread sketching and then we come in and use some mixed media products. But here's that echo quilting going around, taking that those digital dual feeds, doing some background or stitching in the way, and then of course coming in with our free motion and adding some lovely heart-shaped leaves. And let's see, what else can we talk about, guys? Oh, just I always have samples because, of course, you know this. Free motion is my passion. Hopefully you can see there's, oh man, if only I wasn't so dark. Can you see the feathers on this one? All right. Lovely, love the background stitches. This was a painted panel. We do paint, you know, a faux batik type class. And then here's a fun one. I actually, believe it or not, guys, these are all appliqued down with just a straight stitch. It's just to enhance it and make it look nice. But what I was showcasing here was that the lovely stitch length regulator and what it can do for your projects and getting them completed. The Echo quilting, of course, really showcases any type of applique that you do, and then you can have some fun with it in the meantime. All right, Miss Kennedy, I hope I have covered, and now I can take some questions.
No, that was a great job. The main question that people were asking was about that foot, and that comes with the Anthem, right?
That's right.
Yes.
So this is a great game changer because prior to August, it was only available with the Radiance. So you were talking a big investment in your sewing studio. The thing I like about this is I can be quilting and piecing and still stitching on my embroidery machine and another, yeah, you get it. Okay.
No,
and then using my long arm if I need to. So yeah, it's fun.
It's so true. And just, I mean, even the alarm down to the regulation and being able to really move with the machine. And, you know, sometimes it can be a little scary starting with that, especially if you're new to quilting, getting it all in there, but that makes it so easy with that Anthem.
It removes a lot of the variables that take a little bit of time to learn. But think about it, guys. Once you get the motions down for free motion, which this enables you to learn, now you're going to be ready to go out and do it just freestyle. And if you know, if you're a speed demon, you get the free motion quilting feed also.
Yes, 1000%. And honestly, from my personal experience, I am no free motion quilting pro, But once you have the good machine, you have a reliable machine that you can use, and the muscle memory and practice. That's really how it goes. And especially with that new foot on there and all that new stitch regulation and the sinking, I cannot wait to see what people start making with this machine.
Yep. And of course, now I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. You can get an open-toed ruler or template foot for this machine. So yeah, you can still do the rulers. You get the actual extension table. You're good to go. Get yourself a Supreme slider or a slick surface, and you're ready to go.
Oh my gosh, exactly. I cannot wait to see what things come out of using the Anthem and what projects people are going to work on. Linda, even your samples that you had are gorgeous. The different taper stitches are beautiful, and you can add them to so many different things. And even I love making bags personally. I love little purses and makeup bags and things like that. So definitely adding the cute little stitches onto there. But Linda, thank you so much for coming on and showing this machine. It is gorgeous. I love the color too.
I do too.
Beautiful. It would look amazing in someone's sewing room. But thank you for taking the time to show us this machine today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to tell everyone how they can get this machine.
All right. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Bye, guys.
All righty. How did you guys like Linda? I think she did an amazing job, and I loved all of her samples. They were so cute. Okay, let's talk about how you can get the Anthem today. So there it is. And what do you see there? Kyle, it's a free quilting bundle. Get you started right out of the box when you get that Anthem.
What is that? Some thread.
We've got
a
thread.
Dust cover,
you get
needles.
a dust cover. I believe you get some extra feet as well.
Is that a feet? Yeah.
And that little container is an organizer. It's like a little quilted organizer. Adorable. You also get some needles. Get all of that to get started. And yeah, so just right out of the box, if you get this today, you'll get that free quilting bundle as well.
It's hard to see, but that dust cover is plum.
It's
plum.
plum.
Matches the
I
machine.
love the color plum. All righty. But talking about this Anthem, like I said, and like Linda was mentioning as well, the quilting and sewing machine you see here, you've got that brand new stitch sync regulation, which is amazing. You're able to sew up to 1,050 stitches per minute, or you can slow it down to just 70 stitches per minute. So that would be in terms of basting and all that good stuff. So you have so much range of what you can do with this machine. You also have those new stitches, all of the decorative stitches, the stitch tapering, and that new and updated needle threader. So all of my people like me, I have horrible vision. I do have to wear contacts and big glasses, but if you're like me and you need to be able to see that threader, you don't even have to worry about it with the Anthem. All you have to do is just press that little button and you are threaded and all good to go. You also have all of the new and updated needle beams and the foot controls. All of that is fresh and new and got that new technology in there to get you started with your new projects. But if you are interested in the Anthem today, give us a call at 1-800-401-8151. We've got our specialists ready to help you. We also do have financing available. So if you are really eyeing this and you want to have a little plan, a payment plan, we can get that set up for you as well. But give us a call. This quilting bundle is not going to be here forever. The quilting bundle only is here while supplies last. I know we only have a select few. So if you can get in and get on the phones and get your order placed, you'll be able to get that bundle. And I know with all the other baby lock machines that just came out, they also have bundles as well. So you'll have to check those out as well. But yes, give us a call, 1-800-401-8151 if you want to check out this Anthem. We also have it linked down in the comments below. I will go ahead and put that in there right now too. But go check it out. We also have all the features listed on the website. So if you want to learn more about it, and Linda did an amazing job, but if you want to see it in writing, go to our website and go check it out and get the Anthem. I am so excited to see who gets this and what projects you start working on and what quilts you work on and all of that. I just cannot wait. Whenever new machines come out, and especially with new features, new and exciting features, I always am so curious to see how other people use them and what different kind of perspectives they take on and they work on. So I cannot wait, but go check out that Anthem. And again, a huge thank you to Linda for coming on and showing us all about it. I got my notes down. I was able to check it all out. We actually have it out on the floor at our San Marcos retail location. So if you're interested in your local, come down to our San Marcos store and we'll be able to show you. We've got people here that can demo it for you. I know Raina took that class. She's also very familiar with the Anthem. She actually has a couple samples. I should have grabbed those. But all is here at the San Marcos store. So I'm going to go test it out as well after the show. But without further ado, let's get into some giveaways. We also have a new little giveaway that I'm going to give away today. Should we start with that one or should we save it for last?
Go for it.
Let's do it. Okay, so these are the spool huggers. Now, these are one of my personal favorite little notions to have in your sewing room because I cannot tell you how many times I've lost threads. I've dropped threads on the ground and the thread just rolls everywhere. And just the amount of times I've made complete messes with my threads with them not being closed and secure and locked up is it's happened way too many times. So these little spool huggers are amazing. You just wrap them around your thread spools and they keep all the thread together and that way you don't have any hassle. So we're trying to make it really easy for you guys when you're sewing. So let's go ahead and give some of those away. We'll give away 2. So let's spin the first one. Who's gonna win? Who is gonna win? Who's gonna do it? I also will say Nancy Cole. Congratulations, Nancy Cole. I have also used these for cords and chargers, like phone chargers, wrapping things. So definitely multi-functional for sure. But Nancy, if you want to claim that prize and get some spool huggers today, go to smplive.tv, fill out the information, let us know who and where to send it to, and we will get that all taken care of and shipped out for you. But yeah, smplive.tv and fill out that form. All right, let's get another winner. Yes, I love using these for chargers and cords, computer cords, all that good stuff. They make it so easy. Oh my gosh, we won! Yay!
I'm going to take one home tonight.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Kyle can take, maybe you can use them for fishing.
There you go. I can wrap my fishing poles.
There you go. We're going to spin again, of course. As much as I'd love some spool huggers, I want to give one to you. Kathy. Is it Blau or Blow?
I was going to say Blau.
Blau?
Yeah.
Okay, let us know, Kathy, but congratulations, you have just won some spool huggers. So if you want to claim that prize, go to smplive.tv, fill out the information on that website, let us know where to send it to, and then we will get that shipped out to you ASAP. Okay, next up, we're going to go ahead and do a gift card. So if you are eyeing the Anthem today, or you're eyeing anything else on the website, like the Hummingbird, all the new launches that we had coming out, here is a little opportunity to get some help on making those purchases and getting those new products. So Kyle, spin the wheel. Who is our amazing winner of a gift card today?
Krista Dawkins.
Krista Dawkins, congratulations. You have just won a $25 gift card from SMP. Now, this prize is a little bit different because we're going to send you a code via email. So if you want to go ahead and claim that prize, head to smplive.tv, fill out the information. Most important thing we need in that form is your email. So that way we can email you that code. And then you can get to shopping and then you just put that code in at checkout and it will take $25 off your purchase. So congratulations, Krista. Our last giveaway that we have today is our famous sew mats. You can't go without them. These help to minimize the noise and the vibration of your sewing machine. They also just add a great little pop of color and just protect your table and whatever is around your sewing station, just keeping it all nice and clean. But let's spin and see who's gonna win one of these sew mats.
Gail H.
Gail H. Congratulations, Gail. You have just won a sew mat. Now, also another thing I forgot to mention is you can pick what size and color you want. So head to our website, and as you're filling out that form to claim your prize, let us know what size and what color you want. We've got small, medium, large, extra large. So, and we also have lots of different colors on there. So different options. If you're brand loyal, you can go ahead and get Baby Lock Gold, or, go along with another sewing brand and match that color up. But congratulations, Gail. Fill out that form. Let us know where we're going to send that to, and then we will get that sew mat shipped out to you as soon as possible. But yay, I'm glad we got some giveaways out today. And also the spool huggers, they're just the best. They're the best things to carry around. You're going to catch yourself carrying them with you everywhere with any type of cord and thread and anything in your sewing room. So very exciting. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode of S&P Live today. Linda just, again, did a fantastic job. She is so clear, and she always just takes her time, and you can tell that she just loves that machine. It's just so simple. So I'm very excited that we had a great, successful show today. Tune in next week. We are going to have Grace on, and I have a sneaky, suspicious feeling we're going to be talking about Hummingbird and all of the new products that they have just released over the last week. So you don't want to miss out on that. But until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Make sure you stay around, and you can stay around in the comments for a little bit, but subscribe. Make sure you're commenting down below. That's how you get entered for giveaways. And subscribe. Go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook, and also join our Facebook group. So that way we can all stay in touch and we can all stay together as SMP Nation. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay cool if you're in the hot parts of the world. I hope you guys are all staying cool. I will see you all next Thursday. Bye.